What if I told you the secret to running a better marathon isn't to run more miles? What if it's actually to start sprinting? I know it sounds completely backward, but the science here might just blow your mind. Let's get into it. I mean, this question pretty much flies in the face of everything we've ever been taught about running, right? The conventional wisdom has always been that to build endurance, you have to, well, endure. But what if the real key to unlocking that next level of stamina is hiding in short, all-out bursts of speed?
So, to understand why this idea is so controversial, we first have to look at how we've always been taught to think about training. For years, it's been neatly split into two totally separate camps: cardio on one side, strength on the other.
You know the drill. On one side, you've got your cardio, your long, steady runs that are all about building stamina and training your heart and lungs. And on the other side, you've got your power work, your intense sprints that are all about building explosive muscle. Two different goals, two totally separate paths. Or so we thought, because some really fascinating research is starting to suggest that this clean, dividing line, it might not be real. What if the path to becoming a better endurance runner actually runs straight through power training?
To figure this out, let's dive into a really cool study from 2018, where researchers decided to put these old-school training ideas to the test, head-to-head. Okay, so the setup was actually really simple. They got 16 volunteers, split them down the middle into two groups, and for 8 weeks, each group followed a very, very different workout plan 3 times a week. So group 1, let's call them the aerobic group, did exactly what you'd expect. They ran for an hour at a nice, steady, moderate pace. Then you had group 2, the anaerobic group. They did the complete opposite. Their entire hour was just high-intensity interval sprints. Now here's the crucial part. The whole point of the study wasn't to see who got faster at sprinting. The real goal was to measure which group improved their aerobic fitness, their endurance, the most. So based on everything we've been told, the aerobic group should win this in a landslide, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer. Well, the results weren't just a little surprising. They completely turned everything we thought we knew on its head. Let's look at the data. The difference here is just massive. The traditional cardio group, they saw a tiny 3% bump in their aerobic fitness. I mean, it's barely anything. But the sprint group, the ones who weren't even trying to build endurance, their aerobic capacity skyrocketed by almost 18%. Just let that number sink in. By training for pure power, the anaerobic group saw nearly 6 times greater improvement in their endurance than the group that was actually, training for endurance. It's wild. The researchers themselves were pretty clear. Anaerobic training, sprinting, is an incredibly powerful way to increase aerobic capacity. So this begs the big question: why? How on earth does training for explosiveness make you better at running for a really long time? Well, the answer lies in this really deep connection between how forceful your muscles are and how efficiently your body actually uses oxygen. It all comes down to this link between force and endurance. So let's bring in a key idea from another study. It's called rate of force development, or RFD for short. It sounds really technical, but all it means is how quickly your muscles can generate force. Think of it as your explosiveness score. And this data right here shows us exactly why that matters. What they found was a huge statistical link between a runner's aerobic fitness and their RFD. To put it simply, runners whose muscles could produce force more quickly, they were also way more efficient with their oxygen. When every single stride is more powerful, you waste less energy. And when you waste less energy, you can run longer and faster. Simple as that. So this isn't just some weird theory that works in a lab. A super recent study from 2024 shows exactly how this stuff is being used by competitive athletes to get some absolutely incredible results. They took a group of serious 1,500-meter runners and put them on this really smart program that combined both aerobic and anaerobic exercises, all designed around hitting a specific race time. And the results were just phenomenal. I mean, huge gains across the board. Their max oxygen consumption, their pure endurance, shot up by over 13%. Their raw sprinting speed got almost 12% faster. And most importantly, their actual 1,500-meter race performance improved by over 6%. This is the proof. Combining these two training styles just flat out works. So what's the big lesson we should take away from all of this?
Here's the bottom line. Sprinting is one of the most powerful tools you have to improve your endurance. Your performance isn't just about your heart and lungs. It's about how powerful and efficient your muscles are. The old idea of cardio versus strength is just obsolete. The data is clear. The new model is cardio and strength.
Which really just leaves us with a final thought. Looking at your own training and knowing that explosive power is a key to unlocking endurance, what's one high-intensity workout, whether it's hill sprints, track intervals, whatever, that you could add this week to start building a stronger, faster, and more resilient running engine?